They thought they could drop $46 million into a Senate primary and nobody would notice. They thought the American people were too distracted, too divided, too checked out to ask the one question that matters: who's paying? Until this week. Until a Michigan Democrat stood on a debate stage, looked a sitting congresswoman in the eye, and said the quiet part out loud, live, on television, with the whole country watching.
Congresswoman, specifically about AIPAC money, more than $46 million has been spent on AIPAC spending to back your campaign. A lot of people wonder if that is something where you're going to do their bidding should you win this seat. Is that something people should be concerned about? And if not, why not?
Absolutely not, Roop. Look, I have been very clear, consistent, and transparent, and I have continued to be. I want to see long-term peace. I want to see a two-state solution. I am deeply proud to represent one of the largest Jewish populations in a congressional district in the country.
I'm Brandon Mace, and this is Political Lens. Here's what we're breaking down today. Number one, the $46 million question: how AIPAC set a new record buying influence in a single Senate race and why they picked Michigan. Number two, what Congress just passed while you were watching the debate: the defense bill provision nobody got to vote on. Number three, why this moment is bigger than one primary. Let's zoom out. Let's break down really what happened here. Monday night, Michigan. Democratic Senate candidates Haley Stevens and Dr. Abdul El-Sayed face off in their final debate before next Tuesday's primary. It's one of the most closely watched Senate races in the country, and the moderator, Roop Raj of Fox 2 Detroit, doesn't dance around it. You've got $46 million in AIPAC spending behind your campaign, Raj asks. Is that something voters should be concerned about? Stevens' answer: absolutely not. Think about what that means. A foreign lobbying group spends a record-breaking $46 million, more than they've ever spent on a single race, to put one candidate in the Senate. And that candidate looks voters in the eye and says, there's nothing to see here. The reality is, this is not a conspiracy theory. These are campaign finance records. They're public.
So I just want to say the difference between us is $46 million of AIPAC spending. They've set a record in this race to help elect my opponent because they know that she'll be a reliable vote, just like she took last week to send your tax dollars to a foreign government.
Here's where it gets interesting. That debate clip hit Reddit within hours and exploded. One post: Haley Stevens says $46 million in AIPAC funding should not concern voters, pulled over 900 upvotes on r/politics alone. Earlier this month, a similar post hit nearly 7,000 upvotes. I want you to hear this word for word, the top reply. Why would I be concerned? It's pretty obvious she's been bought. That is the American electorate in July 2026. They're not confused. They're not being manipulated. They see exactly what's happening, and they're done pretending it's normal. But here's what the debate coverage missed, and it's the part that ties this whole thing together. While Stevens and El-Sayed were on that stage, the House had just passed the FY27 National Defense Authorization Act. In that bill is something called Section 219, a provision that, according to the Foundation for Middle East Peace, would functionally integrate the U.S. military with Israel's at a level never seen before. Mandatory cooperation, deep interoperability, hard to undo legal entanglements. And here's the part that should get your attention. Thomas Massie filed an amendment to strip Section 219 out. House GOP leadership blocked it from even getting a vote. They didn't debate it, they didn't discuss it, they just made sure it couldn't be touched. AIPAC celebrated the bill's passage. In their own press release, they touted the $750 million for U.S.-Israel cooperative programs, a $65 million increase from last year. Think about what that means. $46 million into one Senate race, $750 million in defense authorization, and a congresswoman who says none of it should concern you.
More than $46 million has been spent on AIPAC spending to back your campaign. A lot of people wonder if that is something where you're going to do their bidding should you win this seat. Is that something people should be concerned about? And if not, why not?
Absolutely not.
Take a look at this. This is not a Democrat issue, not a Republican issue. This is an American issue. Whether you're MAGA, independent, or progressive, the question is the same. Who does your representative work for? Let's zoom out because this is bigger than Michigan. Today, July 29th, 2026, The Guardian published a major investigation headlined, "AIPAC's brand has become toxic. Can this pro-Israel, pro-peace rival move in?" The New York Times Daily podcast dropped an episode called Israel, AIPAC, and Difficult Questions for Democrats. Both pieces land on the same day, both asking the same question. Has AIPAC's influence machine finally hit its ceiling? The Guardian piece reveals that J Street, AIPAC's liberal rival, raised $1.3 million in June, its biggest monthly haul ever, and expects to spend at least $13 million this cycle. But even that is a rounding error next to AIPAC's hundreds of millions. And yet, AIPAC's brand has become such a liability that candidates they endorse are now hiding from the association. The FMEP Legislative Roundup notes that the House GOP leadership was so afraid of a public debate on Section 219 that they blocked every amendment to even discuss it. In plain English, they know the American people are watching, and they're terrified of what happens when the receipts come out. Here's what I need you to understand. The $46 million in Michigan isn't just about one Senate seat. It's a test case. If AIPAC can drop record money into a primary and win, they prove the model still works. If voters reject the candidate AIPAC bought, that sends a message that no amount of dark money can wash off. The Michigan primary is next Tuesday.
This is a community that I have grieved alongside, that I've mourned alongside, and have fought to bring the hostages home. And I'm still working to get us to long-term peace.
They've set a record in this race to help elect my opponent because they know that she'll be a reliable vote. I want your tax dollars spent in Michigan to provide schools in Michigan, to build healthcare in Michigan, to build roads in Michigan. And I think that money sent over there to kill kids and women is the worst use of our tax dollars. And yet, that's exactly what $46 million in spending will buy you.
This is the exact conversation they don't want you having. They want you to watch the debate, pick a side, and move on. They don't want you connecting the $46 million in Michigan to the $750 million in the defense bill to the provision nobody was allowed to vote on. But you just did. And that's exactly why we do this. Drop your take in the comments below, because this is exactly the kind of conversation they don't want you having. Do you think $46 million buys a vote? Or do you believe Stevens when she says it doesn't matter? I want to hear from you. We will see you on the next video right here on Political Lens.